The dim bathroom light flowed out over the stain-covered carpeting. A red haze blurred Mary's vision, burst vessels, throbbing pain. She should be screaming, but her mind was on another plane, wrapped in confusion. How are you, dear? His voice was velvety, each closing syllable drawn out a little longer than was expected by the ears. Even though he was clutching her quite close, she felt no warmth radiating off his skin. I've had better days. Her warm inner fluids dripped off fingertips, creating small pools on the floor, adding to the sinful stains of the shitty motel. She thought about the people before her, the men and women who had lain on this bed. Were they just like her? Was their fate sealed as hers was? She wanted to ask, but knew she did not really care. Why me? His eyes drifted to meet hers. She saw his figure through the filter of blood and felt his cold smile. I choose not who, I just collect. He rose from the bed, placing her head back onto the pillow. She was too weak to move now, which would make things much easier. Whiskey entered the throat, but as always had no effect. The room smelt of shit and blood, of sin and loss. The smell did not affect him anymore. He had been around for too long and been through the motions too many times. He turned to face the bed again, observing the dying woman. A long sigh escaped him. All he wanted to do was finish the job and get out of this godforsaken place. The irony of the statement in his head made him chuckle. Will I go to heaven? The voice was barely audible in the stiff air, but he heard it. There is no heaven for women like you. Even in her weakened state, he felt a shudder run along her spine when he touched her cheek. Her eyes opened, but she did not see a man in front of her now. She wanted to scream, but her muscles had no more energy left. She felt his fingers on her head, and then felt nothing at all. All in a day's work, was the thought that cycled through his skull after every job, but he never had a day off. What a simple thought it was, knowing that he would never get a break. Papers were filed, away in his briefcase, and the door to the room closed. As he ambled to the side of the road, a four-door sedan approached from the west. Dust kicked up from the semi-bald tires, creating a rising cloud of dead skin and dirt. The car slowed and pulled to the side of the highway, rolling its window down in the process. Going my way, stranger? The man nodded and approached the passenger door, his long and bony fingers grasping the handle. As he sat on the seat, he opened his briefcase and removed a small file from inside. Your name is John, correct? The driver looked stunned as he pulled away, immediately hesitant. How do you know my name? I know a whole lot about you, son. Let me tell you about my job. As the daylight faded from the fall western sky, John Markov took his last breaths.